Hey, my dear son. Good afternoon. The question today is, how do you choose your wife your son deserves? Let's start with, what are the common mistakes most father do? Most dad, they find his wife because he said that is or she is beautiful. And that happens because they are confused what a specific trait they like from women. And the problem is not them, of course. The problem is the confusion. Like, what do they exactly like from her? Is it the skin? Is it the teeth? Is it the nose? Is it her body? Right? Most men are confused. And what really happens if you choose a wife who is not into parenting? Of course, she will not help you to raise your kids because you are not aligned. She doesn't have vision to raise kind kids, respectful kids. She will not co-parenting, teamwork, because she's not even aware what parenting is. Like, does she know what to do, how to respond if her son complains or compares himself to other kids? Does she know how to respond when her son is crying? Right? Does she study parenting each day? So it doesn't make sense if you choose a wife who doesn't study parenting, who is not into parenting. I mean, what kind of parenting will she do? What kind of parent, what kind of mom she will become, right? It just doesn't make sense. And your kids doesn't deserve to be treated disrespectfully. Your kids doesn't deserve to be spanked. Your kids doesn't deserve to be yelled at, to be disrespected, to be manipulated, to be punished. No, he doesn't deserve that. He doesn't deserve a terrible mom, a disrespectful mom, an unkind mom, manipulator mom. He doesn't deserve that, right? And you don't deserve a wife like that, right? And what else? What happens to your son? So if you choose a woman who doesn't study parenting, what will happen to your son? Same thing. He will choose a wife that doesn't study parenting as well. Why? Because he sees you, he watches you, you lead him by example. You taught him that beauty is enough to find a woman, to find a wife. That you taught him that parenting is not a big deal. It's not a big deal. We don't do that. And your son is living in a house, at home, your environment, where study parenting is not practiced. Like, what kind of home are you building, son? Right? And your son, he could have been selective, choosing wife and his kids could have been treated with respect, you know, but it won't happen. He can't select good wife. He sends his children can't be treated right. It won't happen. Why? Because you never taught him how to find the right wife. You never taught him that choose a wife that studies parenting, right? So you are literally sacrificing your son's safety. And I mean, you are sacrificing his safety. Why? Or in what way? What do I mean? For example, when your son cries, his mom might probably slap him, punished him, yell at him, belittle him. What else? What other disrespectful thing? Manipulate him, pull him, ground him. I mean, right? That's how I mean by you're sacrificing his safety. And he doesn't deserve to be treated that way. No, many kids suffer from those abuse, physical abuse from their mom. And your son doesn't deserve those abuse from their mom. And it happens if you choose a woman, a wife that doesn't study parenting, right? So the question here, son, is do you really want your kids to be treated with disrespect, without love, unkind? Uh, do you want him to be spanked by your wife? To be slapped by your wife? To be manipulated by his wife, by your wife? Do you want to experience those abuse from their mother? Right? I know, of course not. Of course not, you don't want that. You want your kids, your son, to be treated with love, with care, with respect, with kindness, right? So, how can you do it? How can you achieve that? You need one thing: choose a wife that study parenting each day. Not necessarily each day, that study parenting. Why? Why it's so effective? It's effective. Choosing a wife that study parenting is effective because she will cooperate with you, because she has the same vision to raise kind kids, respectful kids, educated kids. Both of you are aligned. You will guys teamwork, co-parenting. You will help each other. It's 100% plus 100% raising educated kids, raising kind kids who says kind words, who respect people. It's it's aligned, it's congruent, and I would say no divorce, right? And do you want do you want do you want your do you want your wife to have the same mindset as yours? I know you have vision to raise kind kids, educated kids. So do you want your wife to have the same vision as yours, right? And if you choose a wife that study parenting, you are you are teaching your son that, I mean, What happens now to your son if you choose a woman that studies parenting? Of course, in his case, he will do the same thing, meaning he will choose his wife, his own wife, that studies parenting too. Why? Because you led him by example. You model you model it to him. You showed him the standard. You taught him that a woman, your wife, his wife deserves, your wife has to study parenting. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. I mean, it's hard, it's challenging to raise kind kids because she will not cooperate, because in the first place she doesn't care about it, she doesn't care about raising kind kids. It's not on her mind, in her mind, right? And now your kids will choose his wife that study parenting too, because he's been living in an environment in your home where this is the standard, nothing else, non-negotiable. Because choosing the right wife is the one of the most important decision, because the way she treats herself, her habits, will is the way he treats her son, her kids, and her husband. So it's her habits matter here, and her mindset matters here. And you know what? If you choose now, if your son chooses a wife that study parenting, of course he will he will raise his own kids with kindness. He will raise respectful kids, because you are creating a generation where this is the standard. The standard is choosing a wife that studies parenting. That's the standard when choosing a wife. So if you choose a wife that studies parenting, and if your kids choose a wife, choose his wife who studies parenting, you are creating a generation where the standard is a woman has to study parenting, and that's the standard, not because she's beautiful. What's that? I mean, what's that? What do you mean? Like, is it her nose? Is it her teeth? Is it her skin? Is it her boobs or what? What do you mean she's beautiful? Be specific, son. That's a good topic to talk about in the next chapter. Sorry for the word. Okay, where are we now? So, because at the end of the day, your son deserves to be treated with respect. What do I mean by that? He deserves that when he's struggling, when he's comparing himself to other kids, that's overwhelming for him. That's real for him. So he needs a mom, a dad, where he needs a mom or a dad to validate his feeling, to guide him, to educate him about comparison. What else? If your son make mistakes, fail at something, fail at the football championship, and they lost, he deserves to be validated, to be empathized, to notice his feeling, right? He deserves to be guided that rejection is okay, that losing is okay, to learn, right? So your son deserves a good dad and a good wife, meaning a dad and a mom who study parenting, because parenting is a skill, right? So If his mom doesn't study it, I mean, what kind of mom she will be, right? What else? If if there's if I will ask you, like, if you will ask me, Dad, what's your point? What's the point? Why should I care about this? Why should I choose a man? I mean, why should I choose a wife that study parenting? Why? Like, what's the goal? What's the point? What's the emotional anchor? Son, you need to choose a wife that study parenting because she will work with you. She will work to raise kids with you. She will help you. You will help. You guys will help each other because you have the same vision. That's the goal, right? And I mean, how can you do it in real life? Okay, let me check my notebook. hmm So that's the goal, right? So the point of this letter right now is to find. I mean, the goal of this is so your wife will help you raise your kids. So now, what's the one lesson of this letter? Yep, it's to choose a wife that study parenting. And how can you do it? Find find woman who study parenting. How? Read read parenting stuff. If the author is woman, go marry. Will you marry me? No, marry her, right? And since you are so if you are studying parenting from a woman, go marry her. So find a online creator who's into parenting, marry her. I mean, that's how you can do it. I think that's how I will do it in the future, 5 years from now. And find a woman that studies parenting. And you can find many women out there in you on YouTube. Go date her. So that's how you do it. So when can you do it? So let's say you are financially ready, emotionally ready to be a dad, to be a husband. That's the right time to look for a girlfriend or a wife, meet her, date her, and find out about her habits, mindset. I mean, you can see it on her YouTube accounts. Like, does what does she do? What does she does? Her mission, her vision, and probably right now you're thinking, but Dad, I can't find a woman in my area who studies parenting. Yeah, social media. I mean, is YouTube a social media? I don't know, but explore on YouTube. There are many women who who's into parenting. Go marry her, like, date her. Yeah, just give it a try one date. If her vision is the same as yours, right? And you know what? Your son right now. So your son right now is thinking, Dad, thank you. Thank you for choosing the right mother for me. I feel so blessed. I I was educated by her. I was guided by her. I was raised with kindness, with love. Even she's not perfect, she tries her best because she was learning. That's what he will say to you. So if I can summarize this letter, this episode, in one sentence, is this. It would be like this: choose a wife that study parenting because that's what your son deserves. Okay? Thank you for choosing to find a wife, to choose a wife who study parenting. Thank you for that, son, and I'm proud of you for choosing that. And that's it for the episode. And story of the day. We have many, many stories, to be honest. Let's start with not many, few, sorry. Yesterday, I told you I went to the annual festival, and before the festival started, we attended the mass. So that's how that's how the flow of festival. And the priest gave three ideas. And idea number one is choose to live in simple and peaceful way, meaning simple habits like exercising, reading, writing, learning what you really want, what you care about, like parenting, writing, filming. That's how it looks like in real practice. Idea number two is teaching because San Antonio, he was teaching before about anything about life. And idea number one, from idea number one, mm, San Antonio de Padua, he was an example of choosing a simple life, by the way. And idea number three is giving gratitude. How? Saying thank you for the food you eat, for the rice, for the fish, for the vegetables, for the coffee, giving gratitude for the friendship you have with Jesus, gratitude for the newsletter you read from the writers, from the podcast you watch, for their ideas, something like that. And idea number four, I noticed a church in church, the sacristan or the assistant of priest, they do like this before and after they go to the altar. So I noticed why they did that is to appreciate the presence of Jesus, right? So I realized, wow, that was powerful. Like, for example, with my mom, my dad, my nieces, my nephew, the people around me, like, do something to appreciate their presence. Nod like this. That was powerful to let them know that they exist, that I appreciate their presence, just like what those sacristan kids do, is to appreciate the presence of Lord, that He exists, that the people around me exist. Like simple nod, just nod or smile, right? And that was powerful. And Yesterday I was story number two. Yesterday I was thinking, because I am a writer. To write a newsletter takes hours, and I realized, wow, I admire the efforts of writers, the decades they spent writing a book. So sometimes we take it for granted to read a book. And now, since I am a writer now, and I realized how many hours you spend writing a newsletter. Like, wow, if they write a book, that's really the efforts they spent writing. That's inspiring. Story number three, Kashafe, my relative's cousin. During the festival, she told my niece Micah, that girl is beautiful. And I was like, wow, oh my God, like that reminds me of beauty standards. Like, having a beauty standard is so wrong. I mean, for example, being white is beautiful. What? It doesn't make sense. It's color. Or being tan is beautiful. Like, what? It doesn't make sense. Like, this is color, this is brown, or they are white. So what's the point, right? And when you call someone beautiful, what do you mean? What do you mean? Is it her teeth, healthy teeth? Is it her healthy skin? Is it her healthy hair? Is it what? What do you admire about it? You can't call someone beautiful. I mean, what do you mean? Can you be specific? What is it about them that you just admire? And see the efforts, right? You can't call someone beautiful or handsome. I mean, they're just new to you, right? Like, being specific what you like about what specific physical appearance you like about them. That's the secret. You can call someone beautiful just because she has a white skin. And also my classmates, and she was saying, oh, that girl was skinny, that girl was white. I mean, so this topic is really interesting because I think being specific what you like, what specific physical appearance you like about the person matters, right? What else? Story number four. Mm-hmm. Story number four, right? Sahil Bloom. Building right habits give you right outcomes. True. Writing, reading, learning about writing, exercising. That's the right habits. Darius Forks, from Darius Forks, he says, knowing yourself. What do you want? What Why you make the same mistakes repeatedly? Knowing yourself. Me, I am a writer. I am a dad. I am a YouTube podcaster, public speaker, by friend on Substack, defining one thing that would make today a success. Mine is when I wrote the newsletter each day. That's how I know today is a great day because I wrote a newsletter. That's my bare minimum That's how I measure how successful my day is. And from friend again, not every lion that chased a deer caught it, but every lion that caught it, a deer chased it. It's kind of general, but I relate to this because it's about habits. Writing each day at 9 a.m. Something will click in the future, and just trust the process. Next, building good character. hmm That's why reading, writing is are the best way to educate ourselves. Admitting your mistakes. hmm Sacrificing. Yes. For example, later I am planning to go with my mom and dad to look for seashells at night, and that's what I'm talking about sacrificing. For example, I will have sacrificed gardening, probably, uh, washing my clothes, flossing my teeth, brushing my teeth. I will be sacrificing that because I am planning to go with my mom and dad later. And my brother Michael, he gave mom responsibility to look after Liam. And I realized, wow, that was very, very wrong. I gave someone responsibility to take care of my son. What? And it reminds me of other things like, what? I am giving you responsibility to like me, to love me, to pay attention to me, to say something about me, to compliment me, to affirm me. That's yuck. I think that's so yuck. I mean, sorry. That's so wrong. Wrong way to live your life. Like if I have a son right now, it's my responsibility to take care of him. Ask for help, sure, but just give it to her. Give it to someone else. Give your son to someone else to look after him. That's so wrong. And Liam, my nephew, yep, he couldn't manipulate me earlier. He wanted he wanted me to carry him, and I just looked into his eyes. And I was writing earlier a newsletter, and he went inside inside the room there behind my back, and I couldn't. I just stare into his eyes, serious, and he was asking me if he could um if he could go on the bed, and I said no, and I just looked into his eyes, and he was shy. He couldn't manipulate me, and that's the thing. If a person couldn't manipulate you, they will not cry. I mean, just in case with Liam. Um, Mom, she fooled Shimi. She was saying, "Don't say bad words because the policeman will caught you." Like, sure, that persuasion works, but the reason behind it, it's not thought. It's just making her scared. And Shimi again and his dad. Shimi was using crying to manipulate his dad to get an ice cream. So using cry to manipulate people. Oh my god, right? What where did she learn that, right? And it's this idea comes from mine, and I realized writers are the best because they give me seeds, meaning they give me lesson. Those are the seeds that I can plant, meaning to apply. Here's what I write. Writers are giving seeds. My job is to hunt, collect them, plant, apply. So I just love writers, and I am a writer, right? We are giving seeds to our son, so he can plant it. He can apply it on his own life because this is what works for us. And those are the stories today. And thank you for listening to all my stories today. And why do I share this? Because I will forget about it, and then it's good to share. It's a good good to share this to you because the future it will remind me that yeah, I thought about that. That's it. Yeah, something like that. And that's it for today's episode. And thank you for listening the whole time. And yeah, right now what I'm thinking is I will be using this in the future to teach you. Okay, see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Peace bomb. Let me close the camera now.